music of the young. Every time young people invent music, everybody hates it.
Alright guys, welcome back to a long-awaited episode of Halfway Home. We took a little bit of a hiatus, but we're back now. We're fully back into the swing of things. Class has started, the fall soccer season's back up and running. Yeah, you got anything to say?
No, we had a little summer break. Nice and we were gone for a while and made some new experience.
We did, indeed.
Yeah, Max back in his homeland, me back in my home country. So had a beautiful summer, gaining new experience, new knowledge. So, yeah.
What'd you do?
So my plan was normally to play summer soccer, summer ball. But, I mean, just something that Americans do. Well, people who don't know what it is. American college students do that, or international college students play summer league in order to get recognition, I believe, but also to stay fit.
Yeah, I think that's right.
It's like a club system, more like. And I did that this summer for Child of Independence, which was nice because they cared about, putting me into a nice family. I was living close to the Charlotte, Huntersville area, which, and it's beautiful. So that was really nice. And sadly, I partly tore my MCL after 1 month in, so one day before the first game. And then just decided instead of staying there and doing rehab, to do rehab on my way traveling, and started traveling and saw some friends in LA, my good friends. It was really fun in LA, and then saw a complete picture of the world, which I really appreciated, was the Europe, right? Like this American way of life, especially in LA, this bougie life sometimes, and then flew back to Germany and saw my mom and my dad. Flew to Italy for my mom's family, and then went to London, one of my favorite cities for sure. Saw my uncle. So I've been around a little bit this summer, and made some really cool experience and new friends. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, probably explain to the camera, Tim's father is a pilot and his mum is a flight attendant, so this guy gets like cheap standby tickets on flights, so he has the ability to like go from country to country to country wherever he wants for very cheap. So
I have this discount, they call it standby, and it's a blessing in my life for sure, and so I'm really appreciative of being able to fly for so cheap everywhere. And through soccer I also, my networking around this world, I just met so many cool guys around the world which I stay close with, so I'm always on the move, seeing new friends, or old friends, and new places. That's pretty cool.
yeah, maybe on paper my summer wasn't as exciting, but I just went back home to New Zealand. I felt like I needed to go back. I think I just wanted to like get out of America, in all honesty, for a little bit before I came back here. I actually went to London for a week, straight after exams.
Yeah, you made a little clip, right? A little YouTube video.
Yeah, that's when the whole YouTube thing started. We'll get into that soon. But I went to London for a week, met up with one of my good mates who plays football over there, and then just went back to New Zealand, and it was the winter time, so everyone was at home in my home city that I wanted to see, and just like kind of just fell into back into normal routine over there, but also like I wanted to make sure that I didn't put my life that I was building over here on pause. That was the biggest goal going back, and something I was a little bit afraid of. Like, I'm building this life over in America, and I want to stay over in America after I graduate, which is soon. I felt like maybe going back to New Zealand could put that on pause, and I'd just be messing around for a few months, and that wasn't the case. I tried a bunch of new things in terms of what career path I want to go into, and got some work, and then also started making YouTube videos that are starting to do quite well. So
kind of popped off. Our Max's YouTube vlogs and his editing and all that really popped off. And I think it just shows that in 2 months you learned a complete new skill, which can
Yeah.
set you so much apart in a different way of life, you know. And I think that's why life is so exciting, because there's literally nothing you can't do, mate. You know what I mean? Like,
Exactly. Yeah. I mean,
Max just started randomly to vlog and make videos and color editing, and now he's at 1,000 subs and has videos with 11, 12,000 views on YouTube, which is, if you ever post a YouTube video, insanely hard to achieve.
I mean, it's still small numbers in the long run,
Yeah.
but I think it's off to a positive start. And it literally just started from like, I told Tim one day, like, oh, I'm going to buy a camera, I'm going to try this. And,
Yeah.
you know, I think buying that camera, and maybe it was a little bit out of my price range at the time, kind of forced me to have that motivation to learn it, and I picked it up pretty quickly. And now it's something that I think I want to pursue more long term, or maybe even in a career path. So, I mean,
What I like so much about that's that you actually enjoy yourself doing it, you know, like you have so much joy doing it. Like I always see you editing, but it's never like, I gotta finish that, I gotta do that. It's like, I'm doing that because I actually like it, right? Like instead of complaining, you're like, hey Tim, dude, this looks amazing, you know? Like Max texted me at 12 at night and was like, dude, I just got the best footage I've ever had on the beach in Daytona last week when we had an away game against Stetson. For this, I mean, you should check out the video right now. But I mean, this kind of shows like how much more enjoyable life is and beautiful it is if you actually do something you enjoy, right?
yeah, I mean, obviously it's difficult to get to a position where you're like doing something you love for work. Like I don't think either of us are in that position at the moment. Like we're still students, and like it's a privilege to be able to do that. And if you can do that, I think like that's what I'm trying to work towards. Like be able to do something that maybe looks like work to other people but doesn't feel like work to me. I think that's in terms of like a like work life. Yeah, that's all you can ask for.
I mean, that's why I play footy.
Yeah.
Because I want to play footy for fun and make money with it. I agree, man.
I think it's also cool, like doing something outside of being like a student athlete, and like obviously your life is so invested in your sport at the time and your studies. I think it's very easy to fall into like I can only focus on these two things,
True.
and I think it's so healthy to have other hobbies or try and start something new while you're in this whole process. Like you've got to realize you are trying something so new by even going over here to begin with, you know?
And there's so much more than just soccer or college or
Yeah.
university, you know what I mean? I think it's so, you can establish yourself in so many branches and so many new like ideas and directions. And that's what you just said, right? Like everybody thinks at home he's a D1 soccer player, but now he comes back as a D1 photographer. Why? Because you went out of your comfort zone and tried new things.
Yeah, I mean,
And I think that's a nice way to put it. I mean, this chapter America for you and me is not always about like being the best soccer player or being the best student. It's also about recreating ourselves in new aspects, you know, becoming a different version of ourselves.
I think people sometimes get tied up in that. I know, like for you, you've got aspirations of becoming a professional soccer player, and I know a lot of guys at the Division 1 level have those aspirations and almost get tied up in like, no, I've only got to focus on this. Like, I can't branch out and try other things. You got to remember why you're here. Like, you chose this experience, like why you chose this experience, and I think for both of us it was partly just to like figure themselves out a little bit, like figure out what direction we're going to go in life after college, and still be able to play football and see where that leads us. But yeah, just like trying new things, and you never know what's going to happen, you never know what you're going to enjoy, and I think college is really good for that. And student athletes sometimes get caught up in just focusing too much on one thing maybe, and I think it's healthy and it can almost help your performance. Like I've been playing a lot better recently. I don't know if it's just because, you know,
The wrist tape he has.
yeah,
Max has a little wrist tape which says, we're all gonna die one day, or you're gonna die one day. YG,
it is YG YGDOD. That's the one.
YGDOD.
I gotta remember it.
he's ripping that one recently. And I mean, St. Thomas, you played amazing. Probably played the best game you played in a long while. So kind of seems to work, right?
Yeah.
I also think, to your point, that the moment you only focus on one thing too much, and it's kind of like delusional focus, and you kind of like obsessed with something, you don't even enjoy it anymore. You just want to do it out of like I don't know, pursuing excellence, but with no intention of enjoyment and all that, you kind of get toxic to all it all, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what you said, with like, that's why I think having multiple hobbies is so important, or having like distractions is so important, because I believe the moment all you do is this, you kind of get sick with it, you know? I mean, the best example is, it's a small verge of like, I always talk about, but I think it's a good example, the Kobe Bryant mindset, you know? Like, he was in the gym 5 hours earlier. That's nice to a certain point, but are you able to like control your mental health while doing that? Because some people won't. And what happens to those people is they fall into that spiral of toxic self-expectation, and they get super sick of that.
Yeah, and you burn out. And I think when people talk about obsession, maybe like a slight diversion here, but I think it applies to sport as well. Like in relationships, they say like people mistake like obsession for love, and obsession is usually coming from a place of fear of losing something or fear of losing someone. I think it applies the same thing in sport. Like when you're so obsessed, like to a point where you are like truly obsessed, that can be a good thing, and that's like a huge motivator, and that can get you very far. But I don't think it comes from like an internal place of good, and it's more out of like a fear of losing or fear of not making it, rather than like a fear of like enjoying the process and like enjoying playing football. Yeah, I mean, we've probably said all this stuff all the time, and like that stuff like motivation, you gotta be obsessed, you gotta want it more than everyone else. That stuff is true to an extent, and
But
it
it's
sounds
so
really good as well.
short-term, right?
Yeah, but
So
it's
short-term.
motivation words at the end of the day. And I think if you look into like, I can't quote any research off my head, but I think there's a better way of going about it. One for your mental health, and actually like results driven on the pitch in terms of your like mentality and how you carry yourself on and off the field.
I mean, that's why the most successful athletes that we know, when we see them and they do something, they do their movements, they don't look like super urged or forced to do it.
Yeah.
They are calm, you know, they're in that flow state that Max and me talked about it 1,000 times. Like they reach a flow state, but you don't reach flow state of being obsessed, you reach flow state of enjoyment, you know. The
Yeah.
moment you enjoy something, I think is the moment where you sometimes accidentally enter flow state, and then everything just seems to happen, seems to flow. And that's when I think you reach peak performance.
Yeah, I think in saying that, like that flow state and like the performance comes from preparation as well, and that's where I think that obsession is maybe a little bit better. Like making sure you're as prepared as possible, like you're more prepared than like not more prepared than everyone else, because obviously you don't want to be comparing yourself to other people, but like what you're doing,
Kind
in
of
your
finding
own
out
time
what's
and,
the
like,
best preparation for yourself,
Yeah.
right? Like getting the right amount of sleep, the right nutrition, and it's like what I kind of realized sooner or later is everybody, some guy or someone has this perfect plan. I don't think there's a perfect plan. I think there are specific bodies who react different to different stimuli. I mean, you probably only need 9 hours of sleep or 8 hours of sleep. I need 7 or 6. You know, you never know. And I think kind of like finding out what your body needs, also for food. I don't know if you heard about it, but many guys eat pancakes as like a ritual before the game day because they think those carbs they get are really good, right? I normally always ate oatmeal before a game. Max recently told me, Tim, skip the oatmeal. It's not good for you because it's just. What do you say?
I don't know, I read something on Instagram, I don't know if it's true, but they said stay away from oatmeal.
Yeah, and then I read something about oatmeal recently, and it kind of says that if you don't cook it warm and kind of let it like sit for a second, it's not good for your stomach. It kind of rips something apart. I don't know how true that is, or how reliable that source is. But the point is just that I believe everybody has their own routine, which brings you to the point where you can just flow and perform.
Yeah, I think, obviously everyone's preparation is different. I just think the preparation is the part where you have to be a bit more locked in on, and then so you're not out there in the game and you're like
Expecting
like
crazy things.
yeah,
right?
expecting like, why don't I playing so well? Like, okay, well you didn't prepare at all for this.
Yeah, am I eating good enough? You know, am I sleeping good
Yeah,
enough?
the game
Am I
should be
taking
where you
treatment, right?
the game should be where you like almost switch your mind off and you just let it all happen. Like
True.
you shouldn't be thinking about, oh, did I get enough sleep or did I eat well enough during the game?
The game should be the easy part. We talk about it. We should all be like just let
It
go.
all just comes together.
Yeah.
So we've been here just over a month now, back in Clinton, South Carolina. As you can see, we've changed up the scenery a little bit from our last podcast episode.
Look at this, guys. It's beautiful, right? What else do you want?
I think it was just a little bit more on brand for who we are as a podcast. Bit nicer the scenery. Maybe it helps with the retention. Who knows? But yeah, Clinton or South Carolina in general is just beautiful during this time of year. It's definitely a lot different in the spring. Like just a whole energy shift, like a whole vibe change from when we were here last time.
And Max and me really figured out recently. I mean, that's why Max went back to New Zealand. I kind of traveled a little bit around the world. The places do matter, and I think the environment matters a lot. How do you feel? How do you progress as a person? I think if you're in a bad environment, you won't be able to really develop your character as much as you could, in my opinion, as in a location that's actually nice and you actually enjoy yourself. That moment, like that's what we talked about, the enjoyment. And I really criminally underrated it when I came here. I thought, frick the location, I'm just gonna work my tail off and I'm gonna become successful. And I was like, I don't care if I get depressive with where I'm at, you know, like I don't know, lock me into a building. But that was a misconception. I really believe that the location actually really does matter. And I just say that because when I was in LA on the beach with my boys, it was just that pure bliss of like everything seems to happen so quick and so enjoyable, right?
I mean, if you're the type of person that like LA clicks for them, then everything in your life is just gonna like naturally, I feel, align with that. Like the amount of people you're like-minded people who are also in LA that you're connecting with, and just like you just get a certain like energy. Like we were on the beach last week in Stetson, and it was like
on the beach.
It reminded me of home during the summertime in a bit, and I just felt like, not that I felt like a whole lot better than being here. I actually quite like it here at the moment, but yeah, it was definitely like nice, like very familiar, which I think is good in some aspects. But they say like I read something or I heard something on a podcast maybe that like the most important things you should be thinking about like in your early 20s is like who you're with, where you're at, like what city you're living in, who you're living with, and there's something else. But I think it's so weird, like we pay such little attention or not enough, or give not enough thought to those things. Like those things are so important, like where you're living, rather than like the label of Division 1, Division 2, Division 3 to us when we were picking a school probably mattered way more than location. Just speaking from Tim and I's perspective, I know that there's some players who are like, who did go for location. I think if I went back and did it again, like, I don't regret anything. I loved my time at Missouri State, and I think, you know, I'm really enjoying my time here as well. I don't have any regrets, but I'd probably
pick a better location over a Division 1.
I'd definitely pick a better location.
I agree, and I think all the guys that are actually thinking about that, I would agree with from bottom of my heart. I would just recommend you guys to go somewhere where you actually know you can enjoy yourself, and then take the next step from there. Because the college system is so weirdly structured that if you have a good season, no matter where you are, you will get attention and you will go the next step. But back to the point that Max made, I think you will only be able to perform at the best if you actually enjoy yourself at the location that you're at. And that's what Max mentioned with when I was in LA, outside a little bit in Santa Barbara, north from LA. I had the busiest day, right? The boys went surfing, we went surfing, playing soccer, doing this, doing that, but I still felt productive, you know? Like sometimes I have those days where I'm like, well, like I slept for a long while, you know, slept my 9 hours, 10 hours, did that, but I'm not feeling productive, you know? And over there I slept maybe 6-7 hours, had a whole day of doing stuff, but I'm still feeling so productive because the environment is such bliss, so enjoyable for me that I just, you know, naturally able to go the next step, do something new, create something new.
Life just moves faster in those big cities, doesn't it? But I think in saying all this, I think there is something cool or unique to college soccer about like going to somewhere in the middle of absolutely nowhere. Like,
and
I think
don't get me wrong, I think it grows you as a person.
100%.
Like it grows you insanely, and that's what we were saying at the beginning. Like you become a new person because you get out of that comfort zone, right? Like it's not, oh, I'm at the beach right now, I can just chill, do whatever. Max and me were both at that location, and we learned so much more about ourselves than I ever thought I would just from that.
I think, in all honesty, I don't think Springfield was the worst location back in Missouri, but I remember turning up, it was like really early January, grey sky, the whole place is flat, all the buildings are like concrete or brick, and I was like, what have I just, like, why have I picked this place? Like, it hit me instantly, like, where am I? But, like, I had 2 years there, and, like, you just grow to, like, love the place, I guess. Or, just speaking from my own experience, like, I grew to, like, really enjoy Springfield. Definitely has its ups and downs, just, like, in terms of location, but, like, there's just something about just being, like, accepting. Once you accept that that's your life for a little bit, I think, yeah,
Making the best of it, you know?
you just make the best out of it, and you're going to grow regardless. If you're in an environment that you're not so comfortable with, or you don't like, but like you've got the right attitude about it, you're definitely going to grow from it, and you're going to learn new things. And it's a whole entire different country. Like, there's going to be things that are different there and new and cool experiences. So yeah, I don't think it's the end of the world, but location. In saying that,
It does
location
matter.
is very
It
important.
does
That's
matter.
something that we've both learned from being here.
So yeah, back to the point. Max and me are in season right now. We played 4 games so far. Did well, did pretty well to be honest. We
2-1-1.
2-1-1, which is good. The loss was against a team that you can lose against. I mean, Stetson was a really good opponent. They outplayed us most of the game, so it's great to lose that one. It's more important about the learning we have from that game. And now we play Coastal Carolina on Friday, which will be big. And next week we play Georgia Southern, which is a really good opponent as well. So the season's going well so far. We have a complete new team than what the guys who listen to us have heard about in spring. Complete new guys, but young guys, but they're open to learn a lot. And Max and me are enjoying it so far. So
Yeah, we've got quite a unique setup here. Like, in the style that we play very possession-based.
kind of unconventional,
Yeah,
not
for-
normal
for-
for
for
American
Division I
for
team.
American college soccer.
And we're also very undersized as well.
Yeah.
And very young, which is all quite unique in the modern
Yeah,
day
it
age of
is.
Division I soccer. But, I think for the personnel that we have, it suits us. Like, I'm definitely not the most athletic player. I'm quite undersized, and well, maybe
And
not
Max is
anymore.
one of the taller guys, by
Yeah,
the way.
I'm one of the taller guys on the team, and I'm like 5'11".
So I might have to, scream him back now to win the headers for
you know
me.
what? I've been winning my headers recently.
Yes, you did.
Yeah.
I know, I saw it. I kind of saw it. I was thinking, I was like, oh, okay, now Max does the dirty work,
Yeah.
And St. Thomas, I remember the one where you won the header. You actually jumped quite high. Got some bunnies.
I've been
So
working on
I
my
saw that.
flyers back in New Zealand.
Yeah. Danny, one of our teammates, he's a small guy. He told me, Tim, I never lost a 1v1 header, like possession.
Yeah.
Put me in the biggest guy. And I'm waiting for the moment where I can find out if this guy's actually true. And I put this 5'8", 5'9" guy on a 6'4" guy and see how he feels with that one. Because he told me he never lost a header against a big guy. He told me I never lose against the big guys. Never in my life.
You know what? To be honest, if it's Danny saying that, I kind of like, I can see that. Like, that guy can just pull stuff out of nowhere. Bro.
He's got a crazy Trivela goal outside the boot, which was really untraditional for college soccer to shoot it from there like this. Like I've never seen a goal like that. I think it was
I mean,
quite
there's some
impressive.
crazy goals in college soccer that
Yeah,
score. You
yeah.
see it every day. Like,
And I mean, also for us, because our team is so young and so immature, I feel like kind of struggling finding those easy college goals. So many college goals happen through set pieces, long throws, and all that.
early cross into the box.
And we're just not that team, and we really struggle to finish. That's our biggest problem right now as a team. But if you look at the goals we score, they're bangers. Like we don't score no goals.
It's
It
really
doesn't
nice
really happen.
goals, yeah.
The most goals we score are like really nice, well-played goals.
Yeah, I think it's just the personnel that we have. We just, if I could say anything, like, we need to be more hungry to score goals. Me included, but I need to start getting in the box more. I need to start getting in front of my man when those crosses come in. That's what I've been working on after training each day. So I think it will click eventually, and like, the performances are not like going up and down. I think it's going, obviously it's not linear, but I think we're on an incline where, we're performing at a good level right now. Obviously, we only got 2 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw. We don't want to end the season only on 2 wins, so just staying level-headed, staying in the middle. But it's exciting. It's like my first proper season in college soccer, I'd say, after being here in my 3rd year. So
Crazy. Also for me,
Yeah.
it's my first season actually playing every minute, every game without being injured.
And I mean, that's why we transferred here, right? Like, when you transfer there, you're like, I'm going to come here and play.
Just enjoy myself.
And, you know, it's cool to see now that it is working out. I'm not saying that it's worked out because, you know, you could be on the bench the next
So
game.
far, right?
Yeah.
You
But,
never know,
you know,
huh?
we both started every game and played a lot of minutes, and it's cool to, like, if I look back in January where things in my life weren't going so well, and then football here as well, I was like, did I make the right decision coming here? You know, I can say now, like, I'm pretty sure I made the right decision, or I've made it. So looking back, it was the right decision. Like, I've done the work and got myself into this position where I'm playing now, and
Also because you kind of regrets, you know, like you gotta make the best out of it. And that's
Yeah.
what you and me did. The place Clinton, South Carolina, is not really a beautiful place to live at because it's just so small.
it is very small. Yeah, I mean, beautiful.
It's
Yeah.
beautiful, but it's not what you expect when you come to America to study at a Division 1 level.
Yeah,
So it's always what you make it, and I think that's perfectly summed up for this session, right?
life is what you make it.
That's what you make it. So make the best out of it. Always be in a good mood, you know, with a smile on your lips. Yeah. So thanks for watching, guys.
Yeah. Bit of a shorter episode today. I've got class in like 10 minutes, and it's early in the morning.
Same
So,
for me. 8:30 class, 5
but yeah, we just wanted to hop on here, give you guys a little
update.
little short episode, talk about the things that we usually talk about, and yeah, we're excited to start doing this a bit more regularly. I think we're going to make it like a weekly thing where we get up in the morning and film.
Yeah.
So
That was quite nice this morning. Yeah.
let us know what you think, and we'll see you in the next episode. See you guys.
See you guys.